What's up, Marcus? I might have to refresh this again. The sound. I'm not seeing it on here. That's crazy. Background music. There it is. If I get to it. Ay. What the heck? Let's see if I move it over. Won't let me scroll down. It's so weird. Huh. All right, let me hit the refresh. Bear with me here. Technical difficulties. What is going on with StreamYard? They got too many. Oh, yeah. Let's try that. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. It's so annoying. Perfect. Now we go. All right, we're live. Mic check. All right, we're good on the mic check. Good. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, it's for educational purposes only, and hopefully we can make fun of me along the way like we are right now. Sometimes on StreamYard, they've got like under the brand, video clips, background sounds, background music. It's all in one section. So like you have to scroll all the way down, and usually it's fine, but sometimes it's not fine, and you can't even scroll down to get it. Like there's no scroll button. So that's where we're at on a Wednesday. Woo! All right. If you're new, awesome. Welcome. If you're returning, even better. Good to see you back. Help me with the algorithms. Smash that like button, hit the comments section, and I appreciate all that. So with that, we're going to get rock and rolling here. Bitcoin did not print a buy signal. Oh my gosh, Jesse, your ankle is hurt, not your brain. Bitcoin did not print a buy signal, and NASDAQ is rolling over. Oh my gosh. All right. So I don't even think I could change that till after. So whatever. Yeah, Bitcoin did not print a buy signal. So we're going to cover that. First half of the live stream, we'll cover Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, anything that shows up on the watch list that kind of jumps out at us. And on the second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart request. So put in the ticker symbol, put in the asset type. Is it crypto? Is it stock? Sometimes there's overlap. And we want to keep the live streaming. So that's what we're going to do. This is the NASDAQ chart. So we're going to cover that. We'll take a look at the Wyckoff. We'll look at all the other Bitcoin charts, SP 500, all of that. So this is the NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ chart. Everything else looks good. Yep. Real quick. Good morning. What is this? Huh? So cool. Yeah, we're going to cover Cardano. I don't know about BNB, but we'll take a look at Cardano. I've been sharing my thoughts every day on Cardano, so may or may not spend too much time on it, but yeah, we'll cover it. This is the NASDAQ chart, and what we've been watching is even back here, we were talking about, it was rolling over, and right, and we were thinking that price was going to come all the way back down to the 200-week moving average. It didn't, but it got very close, right? We were talking about it over here. There was still a 24% drop. And the difference was, well, if you go from wick to wick, it was more than 24% drop. 26%. And if it would have gone all the way to the 200-week moving average, it would have been a 29% drop. So it got within 3% of the 200-week moving average, and then was getting oversold, higher low, and then took off to the upside. And we haven't seen a major correction since that pivot low on April 2025. We have not seen it. So to say it's overdue for a correction is an overstatement. Understatement. It's an understatement. We'll get it figured out today. We will get it figured out today. So we were expecting a big decline over here. It did. We were expecting to retest the 200-week moving average. It did not. Got within 3%. Over here, it was looking. We were talking about, is this the all-time high? Is this a lower high? Are we going to see some targets get hit to the downside? We've hit one target so far to the downside. Did Bitcoin lead the way for the SP 500 and NASDAQ again, right? Did it? Seems like it. Bitcoin dropped 36%. Over here, Bitcoin dropped 32%, and the NASDAQ dropped 26%, right? So it was late February, and Bitcoin was already dropping, right? So Bitcoin led the way down there. We covered it. We talked about it. The NASDAQ started to drop significantly back in January 2022, and Bitcoin started its correction in November, right? So Bitcoin led the way back in 2021, 2022 bear market. Again, price got very close over here in June 2022, bounced, and then finally came back and retested the 200-week moving average in September 2022, and then stayed below there all the way till January 2023. So Bitcoin led the way to the downside over here. Bitcoin led the way to the upside over here. Bitcoin led the way to the downside over here. And Bitcoin is leading the way to the downside over here. So I'm fully expecting additional targets to get hit on the NASDAQ. Could it come back up and put in one more new all-time high? Sure, of course it could. Just like Bitcoin did at 126, right? Of course it could, right? The probabilities are starting to increase that we're going lower first, but of course it could spike back up one last time, right? Take that out, come down, and then, right? We don't have a magic crystal ball how it's exactly going to play out, but however the topping pattern plays out, the thesis is the same, that Bitcoin led the way again to the downside and the upside, and we're going to see lower prices. We haven't seen the rollover yet, but we could in the near future, right? So will it retest the 200-week moving average? I would be surprised if we don't retest the 200-week moving average, sometime in the next 12 months, right? Sometime in the next 10 months, whatever it is. The timing is always, we don't know the exact timing of it. If we did, we would have, we'd be in Back to the Future with an almanac, but we don't. So we're figuring it out in real time. And, but what is certain is that we have not retested the 200-week moving average in a very long time. It's overdue, right? March 2023. Got very close, within 3%. And it's overdue for a retest of the 200-week moving average, similar to Bitcoin, similar to MicroStrategy, which got very close again, similar to other assets, XYZ assets, right? So that's what we're watching. Whether this is the lower high or it makes a new all-time high, followed by a lower high, and it just takes longer to play out, like another month, couple of weeks, whatever. But it's starting to roll over. It's going through this topping pattern. Could it have rolled over back here? Yes, it could have, right? There was bearish divergence, a sell signal. Then it pumped up one last time, October 30th, and now it's starting to break down from the longer-term trend line. Looks like it's putting in a lower high. So it's possible we don't see another one, another new all-time high. This was the pump, October 30th. And we're going to find out if we're going to hit some more targets to the downside, right? First, retest target 1, then target 2, target 3, target 4. If we don't find support at target 4, and we start to get candle closes back below it, then the probabilities will increase significantly that we come back and retest the 200-week moving average down here at 17,000. And the unpopular belief that that is the true value of the NASDAQ, that is the true value of Bitcoin, that is the true value of all assets. Why? Why do I say that? Because eventually price comes back to retest it, and that is the upslope, right? That is the up only. It's up only, come back for a retest, right? So once it gets multiple deviations above it, in this case, 160%, price comes back to retest it, right? Once it gets multiple, deviations above it, 123%, right? Comes back for a retest. So this was 923 days to retest, right? It's already been 1,000 days. So if it came back for a retest and it takes 1,200 days, it got close here. It was close there. That was about 762 days. So retest every 1,000+ days of the 200-week moving average after it gets multiple deviations above, come back for a retest. So, once you stretch a rubber band out so far, not only does it come back to the part where before you stretch out the rubber band, comes back to the middle, and even goes back the other way, right? So could even come back below the 200-week moving average like it has in the past, right? So like it has in the past. Came back for a retest 2020. Probably better if I was on the weekly chart. Come back for a retest 2010. Way below it in 2008, right? Way below it. Now, if the one thing that I've been talking about for Bitcoin is that I would expect it to come back for a retest of the 200-week moving average, which we're gonna show you on Bitcoin. In the past, Bitcoin has gone below it 30%, right? Multiple times. It's gone below the 200-week moving average 30%. The one thing that I would say that it could go significantly lower than 30% below the 200-week moving average and be there for an extended period of time is if the S&P 500 went multiple deviations below the 200-week moving average and stayed below there for quite some time, right? You're looking at 6 months for a bottom, double bottom, and then come back up to retest the 200-week moving average. If that were to happen, and we saw the SP 500 drop 55% versus like 30%, I would expect Bitcoin probably drop 80 to 90% at that point. Still high risk, right? No matter what the talking heads say, it's still high risk in my personal opinion. So I treat it more as like a tech stock than I do a store of value, safe haven, because there's paper Bitcoin with high leverage. If it was spot only with no leverage, I would say it's more of a store of value. But all that started to change in 2017. And now we have ETFs, we have CVDs, we have perpetuals, we have MicroStrategies, MSTRs, we have HODL, HODL ETFs, we have Bitcoin futures, We have Bitcoin futures with options. There's so much leverage that there's so much paper Bitcoin. It's hard for me to agree that it's a store of value, right? If it was spot only, then I would probably be on board with that. I'd probably be on. So with all that leverage capability in the system, it's great for swing trading, right? It's great for swing trading, but so that's my argument. So if we do see a bigger stock market correction well below the 200-week moving average, I would expect Bitcoin to do the same. Similar to the NASDAQ, right? In the dot-com bubble. If we saw a bigger move down, and you can see the trajectory of this, because Bitcoin's never experienced, bear with me, that's just, consider that the 200-week moving average, right? Bitcoin has never experienced a dot-com bubble like correction, right? So all the way from the top, all the way down to the bottom, 931 days to find bottom, 83% to find bottom. Bitcoin's never experienced that. Bitcoin has only experienced 30% corrections. So if the NASDAQ dropped 83% over 925 days, I would expect Bitcoin to drop significantly. If it doesn't, and we never see a move down like this ever again, whether they print money, whether they do XYZ, keep it propped up, then, I would expect Bitcoin to stay around the 200-week moving average and or drop below 30, 10, 20, 30%. This is the one outlier. If we see a dot-com bubble-like crash, or we saw a 2008-like crash on the SP 500, then I would expect Bitcoin to drop further, right? Even on this pullback here to the 200-week moving average on the NASDAQ of 32%, Bitcoin dropped 65%, right? So that's what I would expect. Even over here on this correction on the NASDAQ of 37%, Bitcoin dropped 76%, right? So double, right? Even over here, NASDAQ only dropped 26%, Bitcoin dropped 32%. So that's what we're watching. If the NASDAQ dropped all the way down here, or the SP 500, whatever, either one, and or both, dropped 40%, I would expect Bitcoin to be well below the 200-week moving average. Maybe it's a 70, 80+% correction, right? So we'll see. We're going to take it level by level. Just, it would really hurt the hodlers if we dropped 30 to 40%. We would be below $40,000 Bitcoin. So all things to consider. Yo. So this is the NASDAQ. This could be the all-time high. This could be a lower high. One target's been hit so far. These targets are still valid unless we take out the all-time high at 26,437, which we could with the wick, and then I have to redraw these targets slightly, all that stuff. So before we get into Bitcoin, we don't have any affiliate links. We've never taken $1 of affiliate money. Could I have made a lot more money? Sure. But you never know who's going to be the next Celsius, who's going to be the next FTX, 3 Arrows, all that stuff. So we don't take any affiliate money whatsoever. So we do have to plug our own website real quick. So bear with us. You can go over here to marketsniper.pro, Market Sniper Pro on Twitter X, find the website, or Jesse Olson and find the website. And the website will take you over to here. You can go to the home, features, plans. We have a $49, includes everything. 2 trading bots released so far. We have like 30. but I don't want to release them until, put all the bells and whistles on them, double check them, visual aspects of them, all that stuff. Probably it just takes time, but we plan to roll out a lot more, especially by January. Hopefully, at least one or two more by January. I've been saying that for like a month, but in the meantime, we did upload all 70. Like if you're still in recorded coaching, you have access to it on the Discord in a private channel. But now we've actually uploaded them into the website too. So you have 70 plus hours of recorded coaching videos all uploaded onto the website, which is awesome. Shout out to Alex. The dashboard, you can manually input your trades and investments, or you can upload from TradingView or a couple of different options as of right now. Eventually, that will be API connected to exchanges and brokers, but not yet. But we have big plans for it. And of course, the price would be a lot higher if we were doing that. So you're getting in early when it's still kind of manual dashboard. Legacy, 2 indicators. You get both those, 3.1 and RSI 2.0. Got to change that. Liquidity access, that's new as well. So, and we're going to continue to upgrade that over time as well. So right now it refreshes every 5 minutes, and over time we will continue to update the API connections, and it'll be real-time API calls. But right now, I mean, it refreshes every 5 minutes, so it's not that important. It was important to get out the liquidity access, but to update nonstop in real time, we still got to build all that out, right? And it costs money, right? It costs money too. So private Discord, get access to that, cancel anytime. Once you create an account, you can log in, you can upgrade, downgrade your subscription, you can cancel anytime, right? If you need help setting up a trading bot, 1 hour call with Alex takes about 45 minutes. Video call, he'll walk you through it step by step, hold your hand, and then spend 15 minutes asking questions, whatever. But you get a full hour. This includes everything except for the 2 trading bots. So everything we just talked about except for the 2 trading bots. Save 1 month here, save 2 months here on the annual. It's dirt cheap. Consider this your Black Friday month. Sniper Core, if you just want the liquidity access and Discord access, this is what you get. And you can do an annual, but there's no savings on it because it's already dirt cheap, right? So you don't get anything. This is 100% fully automated, so no manual. So that's why it's so cheap. So liquidity access is automatic. Like you just got to create an account. Discord access, automatic. Just got to create the account and link it. And then canceling time, it's all linked. It's all linked. So you don't need us to cancel or upgrade or whatever. So you can always send us an email. But and then once you're in, right, this is the liquidity access. So this is showing futures, liquidations. We have BTC and ETH right now. We'll continue to upgrade that over time. Options, right? You can look at the options. You can look at the ETFs, 30-day, 7-day inflows, top inflows versus top outflows, right? ARKB was like 77 million outflows yesterday, but 2 days ago it was actually 10 million inflows. So interesting to see all that. Breaks it all down for you over here. You can see there's more outflows than inflows in the last 30 days. Indicators, pretty cool. Fear and greed index was 23 yesterday, extreme fear. You got all these different indicators you can take a look at, blah, blah, blah. So check it out if you want. This is the sharpshooter RSI 3.2. Woo! This is the sharpshooter candle strategy 4.21. Woo! So there we go. That's it. So much more to come. I was chatting with Alex today. He wants to we want to I don't know if we're capable of doing this or not, but possibly adding in AI to the dashboard as well, researching and learning all of my chart posts from the Discord, learning all my chart posts from Twitter X, all of that stuff, learning my style of trading, and then also having it create a screener for stocks and crypto based off of learning my charts and spotting the next opportunity. So we have so many crazy ideas. Whether we can implement them all or not, obviously, if we could implement that, it'd be way more expensive. Um, but I think if you got it in on the $49 plan, and then, in a month or 2 months down the road, if we were able to roll something like that out, I think you'd still be grandfathered in, and we would just make it the $49 would be, or maybe AI would be completely separate. I don't know, but it would be a lot more expensive if we could handle that. We'd also have to do API calls, which costs money, right? It all costs money on my end. I probably reinvest way too much money of the subscriber money. And I've always done that since starting the Discord. And that's why we've gone down that. One of the reasons why we've gone down the automation rabbit hole is I continue to reinvest way too much money. But if it helps us make more money on our own trades and investments, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So maybe I should have affiliate money so I could reinvest all that money. But I'm not going to. So slow and steady wins races, the NASDAQ. Let's go over to Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin did not. It says Bitcoin did print. Bitcoin did not print a buy signal. So yesterday it was a pending buy signal. On the live stream, we talked about it. We said pending buy signal, did not close that way. The trending dots are currently right here. They are green, but they're currently right here at 80, about $90,000 into this target area right now. We'll see if it breaks out of this downward trend line. It hasn't as of yet. I'm not ready to. Back here on October 8th on the Wyckoff pattern, I said I only expect the fractals to play out 45 to 60 days and or the move to play out. And it followed it very closely for 54 days. I said that all the way down. 54 days, it followed it very closely. A lot of times it was when it came all the way down to 80,800, it completed about 92% of the Wyckoff pattern and target. It played out for 54 days, and it's starting to break correlation, but I'm not ready to call it quite yet. So if we're starting to see prices continuing to increase higher and take out this pivot point over here at 93,500-ish with a close above, then I'll for sure retire it. But it's possible by mid-December, second or third week of December, it's still possible to come back down to these prices. But it's starting to break correlation, right? So we're watching it in real time. If we see a buy signal and close back above here, it's obviously retired at that point. So we're just continuing to watch it right now. So if it were to break back down below here, mid-December, right? But if not, and it breaks out of this downward trend line, we will retire it. We will retire it with hitting 92% of the target. HODL, this head and shoulders pattern played out, hit it perfectly, and went down even further. Bitcoin futures chart. This is where we're still at on Bitcoin futures. So many people were talking about the Bitcoin futures small gap that was filled when Bitcoin was below $100,000. Not too many people had it in their chart when it was breaking down over here with a sell signal. We did. back on October 10th. We did, and it filled the small gap, and I had it labeled as a small gap because it wasn't a significant gap. Everyone talked about it like it was a significant gap over here in mid-November, but we had a small gap on there that was not significant. But you know, more importantly, we hit target four out of four targets to the downside, multiple closes below target four, and now we're back into target four still, and back up, hovering right around the small gap area. So that's where we're at there. If we switch to the weekly chart, switch to log, switch to Heikin-Ashi, right? This is what we're watching right now. Still talked about it that this chart was posted on October 10th. So now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the 9th week. Oh, crypto line. Yeah. Oh, thanks for reminding me. I know you posted on the X app yesterday, and I was like, hey, please remind me on the. All right, cool. Thanks. I totally forgot. I'm glad you reminded me. Yeah, we could look at it. I haven't looked at LTC in a long time. We're still watching this from October 10th. We don't expect the fractal to play out exactly. This was the 2021, 2022 fractal where it suggests that price comes down to 74,000, similar to Wyckoff, which it still could in the next week or two. And that's another reason why not ready to completely give up on the Wyckoff yet, but doesn't mean it couldn't rally back into longer term target one, let the training dots catch up, and then come back down, and then have a completely different pattern, right? But so far, it's followed it very similarly. Even came down faster over here with the wick, $80,000. But in the next week or two, it could come down first and then rally back up into the current prices right now, letting the training dots catch up. So do we expect this to play out exactly? No, we do not. Do we expect it to play out similarly? Yes, we do. Similarly, but not exactly. So we'll see how it continues to play out over time. And you see the training dots are up here at 108, and the weekly training dots are trending downward. So what we are not expecting is a new all-time high. This is a bear market pattern. This was bearish divergence topping pattern, and it's bearish, right? It's bearish right now. So everything is currently bearish on the weekly chart as of right now. And if you go to the 2-week chart, here, let's flip back to candles over here. 2-week chart. So this is a weekly chart. So this could be a bear flag, come back down, then get a relief rally, right? So we'll see. 2-week chart is well below the train dots, but a sell signal below the train dots hasn't happened since 2021, 2022. And even after the sell signal, it did go lower and then came all the way back up into the trending dots and then came down and retested 200-week moving average. So again, not expecting a new all-time high, right? 3-week chart, similar thoughts. Sell signal, even though it's a pending buy signal, it's well below the trend dots. Already had 2 candle closes below on the 3-week chart. Sell signal, you can see there's a buy signal, sell signal, buy signal. There was a battle for a month or two after retesting trend dots, and they came back down, hit the 200-week moving average. Monthly came back and hit the trending dots. Monthly came back, hit the trending dots, right? So that was signaling the bear market. That didn't happen in June 2021. That didn't happen in August 2024. That didn't happen in April 2025. Never came back to retest the trailing dots. Now it has, right? Go all the way over here. You've got longer term bearish divergence on the monthly chart, followed by an RSI sell signal. There was bullish divergence followed by RSI buy signal, right? So that doesn't happen very often. Look at the monthly MACD. There was bearish divergence on the histogram, followed by a sell signal in December, January, buy signal March 2023, sell signal confirmed November 2025. So those all line up for a bear market. Very similar to 2021, 2022 when I was calling it all the way down, right? Calling it all the way down, 2021, 2022, and this is happening again. So not expecting a new all-time high, but there was a pretty wide gap here. So could take a month or two to go sideways and or bounce, relief rally, kind of let the yellow line. Let's see, the yellow line is, it's not the signal line. What is it? Let's see. Boom. Is that the signal? Yeah, that's the signal. Smoothing line. Oh, the slow length, 26. The slow length. I thought it was called something else. Hold on, it might be. Style. Yeah. Signal line. Okay. So the signal line to catch up, right? While the signal line catches up, MACD kind of holds, price bounces back in, blah, 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 right? So got pretty far extended away over here on the crossover, slowed down a little bit, let the yellow catch up, right? While price was probably bouncing, and then down all the way down faster, right? So that's what we're kind of watching over here on the MACD, RSI, blah, blah, blah. Same thing with RSI, right? RSI dropped down fast. Now let the EMA catch up on RSI. Came down fast. Let the EMA catch up. Came down fast, right? Let the EMA catch up. So this kind of seems where we're at right now. Similar points of interest, a month or two, let it catch up, and then the next possible drop after that. So, woo-wee. Let the price bounces, let the EMA and the MACD signal catch up, and then the next big drop, right? So that's what we continue to watch over here. That's Bitcoin bear market. The Bitcoin bear market. Expect bounces along the way. Expect relief rallies along the way. Let the higher time frames, the moving averages, the trending dots, the MACD, let all of the slower lagging calculations catch up, right? And that's where we're at right now. So let's take this off a log. Since we're on the daily chart. And see what else. Still in the downtrend till proven otherwise. Right? However it plays out, that's more aggressive downward trend line. This is a more conservative downward trend line, right? What else? Ethereum has broken out of the more aggressive, came back for a back test, buy signal, battle, above the trend dots, buy signal, break out of the longer term. So is Ethereum leading the way to a more significant bounce, a bigger relief bounce, relief rally? As of right now, yes. The trend has changed and broke out yesterday with a close above, and now the retracement is on, right? So that was a big drop from wick to wick, 47%, and lasted 89 days. And it came all the way back down 99 days, right? For it's close to double bottom, right? And then started to reverse back around after 100 days, right? So that's what we're watching. Ethereum dropped 47%, and now we're getting the bounce relief rally of that move down, right? Woo. So Ethereum, Algorand didn't have a buy signal yesterday. This would be great if this played out. That would be a significant bounce on the blue. Maybe it comes back, retest the 200-week moving average. If it turns out to be even more bullish, maybe it breaks through. We talked about it yesterday. Comes back, fakes everyone out again, back to the downside, and then goes higher, right? XRP, bullish divergence. Algorand had bullish divergence. XRP had bullish divergence, possible higher low. XRP holding on right now. Cardano had bullish divergence. Looks like a higher low, higher high, buy signal yesterday. So seems like price wants to at least retest the 200-week moving average, but we'll see. The higher time frames are still bearish. Maybe comes back in for a retest of the trending dots, wherever that is. Trending dots, right? Maybe it comes back in for a retest and hits this area right here. Maybe it takes a couple weeks, right? You got, here, let's change this so it doesn't get confusing for me or you. Let's say that's the 200, and then you've got a retest here that kind of lines up with the 200-week moving average, trending dots, and probably some other targets along the way. So this is a big move down. This is a big correction from wick to wick, 79%, and now we're starting to get a bounce here. So Chainlink, similar thoughts on Chainlink. Back above the 200-week moving average, you got the trending dots and the downward trend line over here. I'm looking to buy the Sniper Elite and bot suite setup. However, I do not have any prior trades. Can I start trading right away with the bots? Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it right away though. Like if you sign up and you're brand new, there's positives and negatives to it, right? Positive is that you're learning with a blank slate, right? The negative is there's always a learning curve. So that's the other good thing about it being cheap is that could you be up and running by the end of the day, especially if you did like a 1-hour call with Alex? Definitely, right? Would you want to be risking your own money at that point? Definitely not, right? So step one would be, if you signed up, then you would want to spend time with the strategy tester and build out, like we've given ideas and thoughts on how to do it with videos and all that stuff. But you want to spend time playing with the strategy tester first, building out the strategy based off of all the filters, take profit, stop loss, deciding if you're on lower time frames, trying to capture smaller amounts with leverage. Are you trading crypto on the higher time frames? Are you trading futures on the lower time frames? There's so much you have to decide once you join. And so strategy, decide what you want to do first, right? What you're trading once you get in and you see the trading bots and all that stuff. Are you going to day trade it? Are you going to swing trade it? Blah, blah, blah. Right. So you got to figure all that out. And you got to figure all that out with your strategy tester. Everyone's different. And then because there's so many options, right? And then once you do that and you decide which way you're going to go, then you should set up a paper trading account and test the trading bot with your strategy for about a month. So if you did the strategy tester for about a month, right? Getting feel, because even though it's all automated, you can still make mistakes as a human with setup, blah blah blah, right? Then the second month, I would run your strategy on the paper trading account and make sure everything is set up correctly. Make sure this is the strategy that you want to roll with moving forward. And then in the third month, then go with the live account. Obviously, not all in, a smaller account, and then then you can always build and scale from there. So that's what I would recommend. So take it from me, who typically likes to go not all in, but who typically likes to dive into the deep end right off the bat. All of this is based off of trial and error for myself, trial and error with real money. And so this is advice coming from me, obviously not financial advice. You got to make your own decisions in life, but based off of me just jumping in with real money. If you spend a month doing the strategy tester and building out the way you want it, then you spend a month with a paper trading account proving that, and then moving to the real trading account. If I had the same advice 3.5 years ago, I'd be further ahead where I'm at right now. So patience, right? It sounds like a long time, a month, 2 months, and then maybe 3 months. That's really not very long whatsoever. I've been working on these trading bots for 3.5 years. So, yeah. Cool. So, patience, protecting your capital. The risk then would be $49 the first month doing your strategy testing. Second month, if you're like, hey, I want the trading bot to go live with a paper trading account, the risk is about $100 a month once you set up TradingView, once you set up the third party company to do the trading bot, to the third party company to run our trading bot with the brokerage account. So first month is like a $49 risk. Second month is like $100 risk. And then the third month, only $49 for us, but setting up the other 2 subscriptions as well. And then the third month is more of like $100 plus your own trading account. So yep. And then of course you get the dashboard, liquidity access. You can ask us questions, all that stuff. So that's why we're keeping it cheap, right? That's why we're keeping it cheap at first. And then as we continue to get better and build it out more and more. So Chainlink, what are we at? 41 hour, but 49 minutes. We went live 49 minutes ago. Chainlink, similar thoughts, had the buy signal, broke the more aggressive downward trend line. The weekly trending dots are up here. So, like we talked about in previous live streams, however the bounce plays out, this would be a more significant bounce, or this, right? But don't lose the 200-week moving average again. Otherwise, see red. What else? XLM. They're all going to start looking similar. Bullish divergence. Chop Suey, bullish divergence, right? Bitcoin dominance continues to drop down. Signals that it's right on track with the altcoins. And then also JJFF-I60. We've also included the 70 hours of recorded coaching. So if you're manual trading, all that stuff, literally take you A to Z. So if you wanted to learn everything right? You wanted to learn everything. And you go see, let's go. How do you go back to the portal? Portal. There we go. Go back to the portal. And then you go to recorded coaching. I mean, 77 coaching videos teaching the sniper fundamentals. It literally takes you A to Z, right? I recorded the live coaching calls, and I mean, there's just so much. I literally take you, if you watch all those videos within like 2 to 3 months, I don't pull any punches. I literally go through everything. I cover everything. So if you wanted to go from 0 to everything that I've learned, I put it all in those videos. So Aster, yeah. We're almost there. Sit tight. uh is that the ticker symbol too, or is that just the name of the crypto asset? DXY, VIX. Someone asked about Veritone yesterday. What else? MicroStrategy. Basically on track for this weekly fractal, right? Maybe bounce back up into the training dots, blah, blah, blah. We covered it yesterday, and then come back down and retest it in a couple of months. The canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin. What else? Let's go over to the Magnificent Seven, which is like 20 now. Netflix continues drop, getting oversold on the daily chart, dropping hard right now. So from June 2025, down 29%. That is considered a bear market by all definitions of the stock market. You do have this gap up here. When it gets filled, nobody knows. Right. You do have a gap there. Microsoft, SMCI. I'm less confident about I don't know about RKLB, but I'm less confident in shorting down here than I am up here, right? I'd rather short the bounce up here, right? You got massive bounces, right? You got the bearish divergence. You got a lower high, short, bounce, short, bounce, short, relief rally, short, bounce, short, relief rally, short, right? And then down here, you become less and less confident to short, right? These are the big short moves down here. This was a big short position over here, right? But this is what happens. Like, and I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just saying, like, overall, this is what I saw in 2021, 2022. Down here in this area is where everyone wants to short. Start shorting, right? This is where I'm less confident to short. This was the great time to short. Shorting bounces, right? And this would be a lot more difficult than some of the other assets because it spikes up and down. So just depending on your time frame, all that stuff. And then we had these targets to the bounce, to the upside, hit all those targets, and then down. But once it's already back to the 200-week moving average, could it go a lot lower? Yeah, it could. But I'm less confident to short it down here than I am up here, up here, all that stuff. So anyways, that's my thought process. I'm not sure I'll have time to cover all these, but we're gonna get to Aster and all that stuff. But NVIDIA, let's take a look at NVIDIA. More confident to short NVIDIA now when it's this far extended away from the 200-week moving average versus SMCI, which is already back to the 200-week moving average, right? So the two that you mentioned, RKLB and BMNR, are they multiple deviations away from the 200-week moving average? Or are they near, or have they already retested it and now they're hovering around it, right? Are they multiple deviations away from the 200, creating lower highs? Or is price down here, right? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Multiple deviations away, possibly putting in lower highs, right? What else? Multiple deviations away, possible lower highs. So all things to consider. SP 500, Tesla, double top, bearish divergence, 3 out of 4 targets to the downside, has not hit the 4th target yet, could be putting in a lower high. We don't know yet. So, maybe the training dots catch up first, then rolls over after that. So, Russell 2000, we mapped this out a while back, could be putting in a lower high. We said it could even spike higher and take out this wick over here with another wick and then close below. And then, of course, if this was a lower high and then, another lower high, that's just kind of how I see it play out, right? These would be the higher probabilities. So you get the trending dots, right? Just move these for the trending dots, bounce, lower high, so on and so on. PLTR bouncing. There's that gap up there, right? Amazon, Apple. So that's pretty much it. When? 2050? 2040? 2030? What else? What else? Aster. Okay. We'll go to Aster. Let's see. Aster, crypto. Didn't specify the exchange, so I'll just pick Binance. There's not a lot of chart history on it, so not going to be able to provide too much value. Probably draw it out like that, right? October 6th? Oh my gosh. Can't even tell you anything on the weekly chart. 4-hour chart. Yeah, we won't spend a lot of time on it, but could be seeing a bounce off of this on the 4-hour chart, right? So this is the downward trend line based off of the daily chart, lines up with the 4-hour chart. So pending buy signal as of right now on the 4-hour chart. You could probably even tighten up a more aggressive downward trend line. Like that, right? So on the 4-hour chart, was this a higher low, slightly higher low, double bottom, right? So you got a double bottom on the 4-hour chart. And then you got another higher low, another possible higher low. So if you get a close back above, say 98 cents, let's call it 97.5, whatever it is, and a buy signal and close out of this downward trend line, this longer term downward trend line from October, which is not a lot, chart history at all, then we could see a bigger bounce from here. So is the bottom in? Maybe, maybe. So hopefully that helps. I just don't have a lot of chart history, so I can't help you too much. Cool, 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 cool. If you have any follow-up questions, let me know. There was what is it on my maybe it's on my phone. Let me see. There's an I added it, found this one yesterday. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I like the quantum narratives in the future. Yes, they're going through major corrections right now, some of them are not. But found this one, and there's this one's something that's got to stay on my watch list, right? Here's why. This one's crazy. And I don't know anything about this company. I'm just purely looking at it from a chart standpoint. This is crazy. Like, this is potentially crazy opportunity, right? So back in September 2021, November 2021, double top wicks, right? All the way down. Oh, there was a split, right? But still, it's down. It was down 99.5%, right? Uh, yeah, there's some, negative earnings here and there. There's some positive earnings too. Like I said, I don't know anything about the company itself. I know zero about it. But if we're seeing a weekly chart that becomes bullish again, we see a retest of the 200-week moving average at some point. We see it get back above the 200-week moving average at some point. This could be a crazy opportunity. So it's definitely going on the watch list. If anyone knows anything about this company, feel free to share if you do. There's no gap there, so that was filled. No gap there, that was filled. So no huge gaps to talk about. Was this a gap? That's a gap at $62. So let's put that on. I like that. That gap was partially filled. So put on a gap. So this is definitely going on the watch list for a longer term investment. I haven't bought it or anything like that, but something to keep an eye on. So it did fill that gap already. So that's a gap fill. Change that to green. Almost filled it there. Filled it here. That gap was filled. So that's what we're watching. It is back above the trailing dots right now. You got it. You got it. You got it. Yeah, H bar was on my top watch list. I haven't looked at it in a couple days though. Probably looks similar though. So this our cute quantum. Let's see, just briefly. It's the market cap is $500 million, right? Or almost to it. So at one point, it was in the billions, right? Maybe what is it? 10 billion, 100 billion, all that stuff. Got a good trajectory of, even though it was a miss, it was higher earnings. And so, I'm not much of a fundamentals. I'm all about the technicals. Seasonality, like, because a lot of times it's, based off of cycles too. So it did pump all the way up. So Could see some major bounces. You see like a trend line there. Let's see what else. Strong buy. 1 year price target, $60. I mean, that lines up with the 200-week moving average at $64. Uh, lines up with that gap. So it's interesting, right? So the daily chart had an RSI buy signal, had a buy signal, then sell signal, but back above the trailing dots, and could be pushing back up off of that. So I personally haven't bought it yet, but I might have to consider it. Might have to consider it because even that, if it had another buy signal in the near future, that's 110% bounce, right? So weekly chart, it's got some work to do. It is in a downward trend right now. So maybe it's a bounce to $36. So it still has some work to do. So we're gonna keep it on the watch list for now. Could flip at any moment, just like they all do. What else? What else? Engages in the provision of cybersecurity, which we're going to need that via satellite and terrestrial forms. Sounds like a lot of hype. Its product is Quantum Cloud, which secures devices with cloud-based quantum encryption. The company was founded by two Davids, not just one. And both of them have two first names. Headquartered in London. Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't give that much information on it, but I guess you get the website here. So we'll see. But the weekly chart hasn't flipped bullish yet. Like back here, you can see where it flipped bullish, RSI buy signal, and had a nice pump, right? So it's got some work to do. It's below the trailing dots, which tells me that it could go like, it could take some time for it to flip around, retest the 200-week moving average, come back down, and then maybe a bounce. But definitely on the watch list for 2026, right? Let's see the 2-week chart. Bearish divergence. Yeah, so it probably takes some time for the ship to get turned around, even from this point, if it ever does. If it ever does. RSI sell signal, on a 3-week chart, monthly chart. So something is on the watch list, but other than playing a short-term bounce, probably going to take some time. So we'll keep an eye on it, but nothing to text my mom about yet. What else? H bar. Let's see. I have H bar somewhere on here. Probably going to look similar. Yeah. Weekly chart. Yeah, still in the downtrend, still well below the weekly trending dots, so not much really to report there. AVAX, I have AVAX on here somewhere. Sir. Similar, right? So you got the downward sloping 200-week moving average, not good. You got the weekly trending dots trending down, not good. So could you catch like a bounce to the trending dots? Sure. But it will take some time for the ship to get turned around. Like if it was over here, right? Similarities, price wise, all that, and the different in the amount, the price from the trending dots. So you can see it like bounce up to the trending dots, 40%, and then come back. It could come back down even lower. And then once it breaks out of the trending dots with the buy signal, then maybe you could see a much bigger significant bounce, right? Get back above the weekly trending dots with the buy signal on the weekly chart. So that's kind of what, you know, needs to happen to get excited about it, right? So if the trending dots are coming down like this, it'd have to come like this, right? So it just takes some time. Takes some time to play out. Um, similar or near. Similar or near. All that, right? The weekly chart. Where's H bar at again? Oh, hymns. Let's see. Oop, hit the mic. Still good. Yeah, so hymns went parabolic. Hymns went multiple deviations above the 200-week moving average. You can see from the weekly chart with the buy signal here at $7.64. It went 900, almost 900, 860%, or let's get the from the weekly buy, 855%, right? Dropped. This is a classic bear market move. Dropped 67%. This is a wild animal, right? Then returned to normal for a couple of months, 28 weeks, longer than that, right? Puts in a lower high and now is in a downtrend on the weekly chart. 2-week chart, sell signal below the trailing dots. We covered this on Bitcoin as well. 3-week chart, sell signal below the trailing dots. Monthly chart, right, was getting overbought, very wicky up here. Back to the trending dots on the monthly chart, just like we talked about in Bitcoin, right? So the odds are, when, we don't know. The odds are we're coming back to retest the 200-week moving average. So we had a RSI sell signal. We have on the monthly chart. We had bearish divergence on the monthly chart. We had the MACD bearish crossover on the monthly chart. From that monthly bullish crossover, it had never crossed over in that entire time. And now we've got the bearish crossover. So could it bounce a little bit? Yeah, it could bounce a little bit, but it's in a bear market. It's in a confirmed bear market. And no matter what the price action does over the next couple months, I'm expecting a retest of the 200-week moving average, right? That lines up with there too. So I could probably find a million reasons why price comes back down there. Not a million, Jesse. There you go. Could take a couple months, right? And then start breaking down. So that's hymns. You got it. You got it. A more bullish quantum AI is RGTI. Let's see. Rigetti Computing Inc. I think I looked at this one the other day. Yeah, so it went multiple deviations above 3,300%. So probably pending RSI sell signal on the weekly chart, monthly chart. So probably the bull run is over. So similar to here, where it spiked all the way up there, right? or HIMS, where it spiked all the way up there from the 200-week moving average. Eventually, it's going to come back and retest it. So eventually, it's going to come back and retest. So if one would say the true value is currently $6, by the time it gets over there, maybe it's $8 or $7. The true value over time is the 200-week moving average, in my opinion. Just put in a huge monthly wick and then a bearish engulfing candle in the monthly chart. Probably going to come back and retest the trending dots. Eventually, it's going to come back and retest the 200-week moving average. If we drop down to lower time frames, bearish engulfing candle on the 3-week chart, it could rally, it could bounce, right? It could rally, it could bounce. 2-week chart, weekly chart, right? So could it bounce all the way? Sure, it could bounce. But to say that the top isn't in, the top could be in right now. The top could be in. So I mean, that was an amazing pump. Consolidate forever. Huge pump, right? Even that daily pump from the buy signal all the way to the top, 250%. That's amazing. The most we see with Bitcoin now on a big move like that before consolidation is 40 to 80%, not 250%. So I wouldn't say, could it bounce back all the way back up, put another wick? Yeah, it could. But eventually, it's going to retest the 200-week moving average, in my opinion. So, what else? I think we're going to call it. We're over an hour and 17 minutes. So, come back tomorrow and get the request. Like these late requests, I usually don't do them. I did a couple of them. But get the requests in early and put in all the details, not just the ticker symbol. And then I'll for sure go through them all, no matter how long it takes. But when it comes in late without all the details, then I don't do as many. So with that, hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Thank you for all of your support. I appreciate you helping me, help you, help me with the algorithms. Smash the like button, hit the comments, share with friends and family, repost it on all the apps, and we will see you on the next one tomorrow. You got it. Yep. Cool. Oh, Ernesto, LTC. Hold on. Time out. You did ask for that. I apologize. I will do that. I'm going to do it. That was an early request. Sorry about that. Yeah. So still bearish on the daily chart, but did close back above the trailing dots. A bounce could be incoming. I don't care about that. Did have an RSI buy signal on the daily chart. A bounce could be incoming. But the weekly chart is still bearish. The weekly chart is still below the trailing dots. So even if you get a buy signal on LTC, it's possible it just bounces up into the trending dots or spikes above it, right? But it's a similar thought, right? When the weekly trending dots are down, you could see it bounce up into here, come back down, and then once you get that buy signal back above the trending dots, then it could be a more significant bounce, in my opinion. So if this is the price action, however it plays out, could the bottom be in? Sure. Could the bottom have been in? Sure. Bottom in, but right. So without guessing, that's kind of how I would see it. May take some time to play out. Bearish on the daily, bearish on the weekly, battling to get back above the 200-week moving average. Could get that bounce on the daily chart, come back down, and then make a move after that. So that's LTC. Sorry about that. Appreciate it. And we'll see everyone on the next live stream tomorrow morning. And with that, hope you have a good rest of your day. Adios.